Good evening to all my wonderful viewers out there, and welcome back to another Sneaker Talk video, the series where I discuss the latest sneaker releases, I discuss the latest sneaker news, and of course, in the series, we just discuss anything to do with shoes, boots, or sneakers. Now, in today's video, we're going to be covering some sneaker news, some unfortunate sneaker news. What I'm going to be covering is that, unfortunately, in 2022, the legendary sneaker designer, or just designer in general, Peter Moore, passed away at the age of 78. Yeah, guys, it's not the happiest news that you can cover on a channel, but yeah, unfortunately, this year we lost one of the legends, one of the greats, Peter Moore. Now, I wanted to cover it on the channel because I feel like it's kind of getting swept under the rug. I feel like only the vintage sneaker Instagram pages and a couple of sneaker journalists are actually covering that he passed. And I feel like he deserves recognition because what he achieved in his time as a sneaker designer, or just a designer for the big brands that are Nike and Adidas, were huge. It's huge. You may even be indulging in his designs without even realizing it. And yeah, I really just wanted to highlight big achievements in his career in this video and discuss some of my favorite designs that he did throughout his decades of work in the sneaker world. So yeah, let's get into it, guys. Let's briefly discuss the career of Peter Moore. Now, I'm going to start it off with discussing his initial start at Nike. Peter started working at Nike in, from what I know, around 1977. Not designing any signature sneakers during those early 70s years, but doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, working on advertisements, working on logos. He was doing a lot of the graphics design for, late 70s Nike products and early 80s Nike products. Then, moving into the early 80s, more specifically 1983, he was bumped up to the official title of Creative Director. From what I know, Nike's first, but a lot of you bigger Nike heads out there can definitely correct me if I'm wrong in saying that. Then, just 2 years later, he worked on some of the most monumental designs of his career. In 1985, he worked on the design of the Nike Dunk and its advertising campaign, and then on the signature shoe for rookie player himself, Michael Jordan. So yes, Peter Moore worked on the Air Jordan 1. It is his signature design, as well as the Wings logo and the Jumpman logo. Now, unfortunately, none of Peter Moore's Nike designs featured the Jumpman logo, but he did the initial sketches for the logo itself, inspired by that original photo shoot where you can see him dunking, doing the exact pose that is in the logo there. But we can't skip over what his huge achievements were in 1985, which was doing the Nike Dunk Highs and the campaign for that, the Be True to Your School campaign, and of course this amazing shoe right here. But I mean, this isn't the exact design he worked on because this is the 2015 retro, so this is like the modernized version, but you get the gist. He worked on the original 1985 model with the, very long swoosh and the higher upper there. You know the differences between the 1985 models and the 2015 ones. I don't have to go through that. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely some of my favorite work by him. Unfortunately, I've never been able to, enjoy a pair of Dunks or dive into those because Dunks don't come in a size 16 and 17 very often, but I've obviously been able to enjoy the Air Jordan 1 for many years now, creeping up to 7 years now. I've enjoyed these shoes, and without him, we wouldn't have this amazing shoe right here, this amazing model. It's just, yeah, it speaks volumes. So if you ever want to, flex on your sneakerhead friends, that's who the designer of the Air Jordan 1 is. You can say, hey, that's Peter Moore's work right there, if you're that type of person. But yeah, he worked on some fantastic stuff in the 80s for Nike. And then, just after finishing off the Air Jordan 2 for Nike, he decided to pass down the mantle of creative director to the legendary designer Tinker Hatfield, and focus on his own design studio, leaving Nike in 1987, which we would know a year later we get the amazing Air Jordan 3 by Tinker Hatfield, using Peter Moore's original sketches of the Jumpman logo to have the Jumpman on that model. So even though he left in 87, his influence was still felt right up to 88, and it was probably many of his sketches and designs were probably still used after he left, but he did some pretty monumental stuff with Nike all the way up until 1987, then left and focused on his own graphics design studio for a couple years. Now, a couple years after leaving Nike but working on his own design studio, it was in 1993 that he was picked up by, well, basically the other big sportswear brand in the corner, which is Adidas. They hired him in 1993 to basically revitalize the brand as they were struggling to keep up with the huge popularity of Nike in the early 90s. And he was tasked with a huge project, revitalizing the brand, bringing it back. He revitalized very big areas of it and created areas like the Adidas equipment sub-brand, and eventually created the sneaker with Adidas known as the EQT, which got revitalized over the past couple years. He then also created in 1997 the iconic three stripes logo, that that Adidas or Adidas logo that we all know and love. That one was created by the legendary Peter Moore. And then a year later he was like, all right, I'm retiring. After creating this legendary logo that would be used for decades to come, he was like, I'm out, I'm done. And yeah, I mean, those are the biggest highlights that I would say that I know of during his career, which spanned many decades in the sneaker world. He obviously did more post 1998, but those are the big ones that I know of. And then, of course, unfortunately, on the 29th of April 2022, Peter passed away at the age of 78, which I would say is still a pretty well-lived life at the age of 78, but he definitely could have, lived for a couple more years. I mean, I don't know what he passed away from, but yeah, I don't know. I still feel like 78 it still feels quite young, but yeah, geez, he did a lot, especially from those years of 1977 all the way up to 1997, creating that Adidas logo, the three stripes one. And it's just crazy. I mean, I'm not personally a huge fan of his work at Adidas compared to Nike, because I'm not the biggest Adidas fanboy, but definitely his Nike stuff resonates with me. I love the Dunks, love the Jordan 1s, I've loved them for many years. I even love the Jordan 2s, which recently have gained a lot more popularity, which is really nice to see. But yeah, he did some absolutely legendary work in the sneaker world. And I just felt like he deserved at least a little video through my lens on his career there. He did some crazy stuff. He will be missed. You don't ever forget. You see a pair of Air Jordan 1s, pair of Dunk Highs, pair of Adidas EQTs, you go, there's Peter Moore's work in real life. It's crazy to think of. Yeah, I wish I had such a huge design career like that. That is just absolutely crazy. But yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys on some of your favorite designs by the big man himself. Are you a fan of the Dunk Highs? Are you a fan of, the Air Jordan 1? Are you a fan of his Adidas work with the three stripes logo, or the EQTs, or the equipment sub-brand in general? I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on his work, or some of your favorite projects that he did, down in that comment section below. And I think that's really all I gotta say, guys. Obviously, rest in peace. It's unfortunate that we lost him this year, but even though we lost him, I feel like his designs will live on, because so much of his work is timeless. Like, how timeless is this silhouette? How timeless is the Nike Dunk? Even to the extent that EQTs is still a really solid silhouette that isn't defined by a certain decade. he's done some amazing work, and that 3 stripes logo is going to live on forever. Like, it's going to be around forever. So I know that many years down the line, I'm still going to be loving this shoe and all the other colorways that I've bought of it over the years. So yeah, we won't see Peter Moore's work die out, that's for sure. He definitely will live on as a legend, designing these timeless shoes here. But yeah, I'd love to hear how you guys feel about his work and everything like that. I would have to say that my favorite out of all of his work is going to go to the Air Jordan 1. I know it's like a bit generic, you know, I could have gone a bit, I guess, hipstery and said the Air Jordan 2. But I mean, yeah, you just like, this is a fantastic shoe. Like, you cannot go past this. It's amazing. Yeah, definitely my favorite work that he's designed for sure. But rest in peace, it will live on. If you guys want me to do more content like this on the channel, more sneaker talk videos in this style, things like that, you just got to give me the 3 indicators I'm always asking you guys for, which is a like on this video, a comment in that comment section down below, and a subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to hit the subscriber milestone of 3,320 subs, as mentioned in previous uploads. Hopefully with your guys' continuous support, we can reach that milestone before the end of May. That's all I really got to say for this kind of unfortunate and grim sneaker talk video though, guys. I feel like we did cover it a lot. We covered his initial start at Nike, him becoming a creative director in the early 80s, him designing the Dunks, the ad campaign, the Air Jordan 1, the Air Jordan 2, the Wings and Jumpman logo. He did a lot, and of course all the Adidas stuff as well. The 3 stripes logo, revitalizing the brand, the EQT, so much stuff. So much was done in those 2 decades there. It's crazy to think about. But yeah, until the next sneaker talk video, until the next streetwear talk video, until the next drop list video in general, guys, I'll catch you later.